to the Steel Curtain Productions. Please hit the likes and subscribe down in your right-hand corner. I'd muchly appreciate it. All right, I know it's been a little bit, a couple weeks. I usually like to try to take it a little slower in the off season, take advantage of it because there's so much going on in people's lives, vacation, stuff like that. Anyway, so you got to take advantage of it. But anyway, I have been watching the updates, and I'm thankful I waited because the amount of false rumors that were out there, and some of these the odd podcasts had these clickbait things and different channels of this being legitimate information on wide receiver trades, and I'm glad I didn't bite and I checked it thoroughly because there was so much rumor with us dealing with San Fran for Ayuk, and that never came to be. And thankfully, I didn't go rushing. I wanted to make sure, and I knew draft was coming up, so thoroughly get a little tired of people putting out false information and they use it as clickbait. So you won't see that here. That's why You might have said, "Oh, he's not around." Well, because I don't jump on putting clickbait out just for the sake of putting clickbait out. And there's so much of it. But anyway, this is the day before the draft. Wow, excitement. And there has been so much movement within the Steelers organization. Now, today, we got some information that Highsmith and the Steelers agreed to restructure his contract, and they're trying to make room, I believe. There's theories, rumors, and we'll keep it that way. I'm hoping they stick to the offensive line in the first round. That's my preference, just to solidify that for our running it. Well, mostly the running game, but the passing game as well. It buys your quarterback time too. So to me, that is of urgency that we only got one player in that area last year. So I would like to see us get a second one and continue that down that road. Now, the rumor, like I say, there's strong rumor out there in the last couple of days that it's looking why they're restructuring a few contracts. It's almost looking as if the Steelers are either going to make a big splash trade or they're going to go after a wide receiver in the first round. Now, I would prefer they not do that. I know when I'm all over because my receiver area between our receivers and our quarterbacks, it's yeesh. And the other news is that the Steelers opted not to take on the fifth year of Justin Fields' contract. That tells me that one of two things. They either want him to prove himself or they're already have different ideas of where they're going in the future because they're maybe realizing this is not the guy. I'm not sure. So that's speculation, pure speculation at this point. But it's not a great indication for Fields. And if you look at his track record, there's a lot of reason why it's actually a very smart move by the Steelers not to opt to take that until he proves himself at least. And he's got a lot of work to do on his personality and his behavior. So if he can opt to that, and whether he can translate to the NFL, that's been a question mark in his game. And I even think that Pickett was kind of in that field. Now, Pickett had some better numbers as far as interceptions, but he didn't have great, as we know, long, like big numbers of passing when he should have had bigger numbers. But he was safe in his play. But both of them were in areas of can their game translate to the NFL, and unfortunately with Fields, there was thought to be so much talent, and I think maybe the talent is more with his legs, and we got to find out and see what's coming. I'm glad that he's behind Wilson, great veteran to be behind, because the jury's still out on his passing game. Whether he is seeing the field properly. Is he reacting and catching the openings on time? So that's a huge question mark. And the Bears organization seemed to think he didn't have that part of his game, and that's why they had given up on him. They seen flaws in the amount of time it was taking him to react and see open field. So we're going to have to wait and see whether that be the case. The Steelers are evidently giving him the 1 year to see what he does with it. But for me, I think it's a wise move by Khan. I think the kid needs to prove himself, and he needs an attitude change. Even Kenny Pickett needs an attitude change in Philly. So these guys get so much money, and really sports. There needs to be a change. These guys are doing something they love, and for the amount of attitude that's in these, it's surprising us, the fans, are willing, because we pay their salaries in the end of it. And it's almost like between us and Goodell. And I mean, I think other sports have. I think all professional sports has the same problem that way. It's time to put the foot down on these athletes, um, in my opinion, to get things appropriately, more respectable pay, and realizing that they're doing something they love. They got to start respecting that they're getting this type of money, the type of money they're getting for doing something they love. So the needs to be an attitude change. But anyway, we do have some great players like Cam Hayward, and there's rumor that he was doing some work with restructuring his contract as well. So I'm not so sure if that's official, but good to hear him back in the heap of things, because Cam Hayward's huge. Now I know we've had some big releases like Ofer, I believe it is, and that's going to happen because we've seen the amount of guys we're bringing in, and that's why I say don't get on the bandwagon of thinking this team is like up there with Ravens with the amount of changes that we have made. This team, I'm looking at us right now, and I'd rather be in that boat, expecting us to be at the bottom of the North and AFC North, and I put place us at the bottom with the amount of changes. We don't know, Russell's had okay numbers, but not to what they expected. So we've got a lot of question marks at quarterback right now. That's for sure. We'll see what happens. I mean, it can't be. We definitely had issues last year, so I don't know if that's any differences. But I think it may be an improvement with Russell compared to what we had. That's what I'm thinking. If he can keep his head to the level headed. But our wide receiver area is a huge problem because I honestly don't think they have made the adjustment of getting an actual number one receiver, which they need. Now, I still say don't waste your first round draft pick on it. You can still get fairly good receivers in latter rounds, like the second round would be a good time to pull it, or make a trade. Like the Ayuk rumor was a nice rumor, but man, I would think you'd have to give a boatload out for him. But we do need something of that caliber because we definitely need a step up on Johnson. Johnson was always like a number three, and I never knew why the Steelers stayed at that with him because he was nowhere near close to a number one. So, with that being said, it's going to be an exciting day. We will definitely be bringing updates on with the draft as it goes, like such as I know it starts tomorrow, and I'm sure tomorrow night we get the first round at least done, and then we go into the weekend. So we'll be watching it closely. So keep your eyes open. We'll have some reports and some discussion on what we think about it. But like I say, don't get your hopes up yet. Um, I think we as fans have gotten our hopes up too many times. Even last year, we were like made the way the word was out on how adhesive the lineup was. We were like one of the front runners in the league, and you seen where that turned us. Nowhere near close to it. Amazing that we had a winning record, but I think we got to keep ourselves level-headed. And with the amount of changes, some things can look good on paper, and some things with the amount of changes, there's a lot of things that need to come together. There's a lot of unknowns, So I would expect keep yourself grounded. So anything above us being in the basement will be a plus. So that's where I'm projecting. I'm projecting. Don't get your hopes up. Uh, this team is coming through, and like there's speculation that we've made, good moves. You're not going to know that until we get the season going. There's a lot that has to transpire, and like I said, I still haven't seen big enough names, especially on the receiver, the offensive side of the ball, to translate into an improvement big enough to make a difference. Uh, and the jury's out on their defense with the amount of changes. So we shall see. And so I thank you for joining me. I just wanted to keep you informed. I know we were quiet, but again, I will take advantage of the off season, so I make less videos because we get training camp coming up and uh, exhibition, and there'll be enough time that videos start rolling. So, but we will try to as things happen. But I'm glad, like I said, that I was a little patient with this because the amount of false rumors that some of these channels are putting out is just the misinformation is unbelievable. So be careful with what you see and believe. There's more clickbait out there than there are facts. All right. Well, thank you for joining me. We shall catch you tomorrow. I know tomorrow or Friday, I will definitely be responding to the first round of the draft and see where we go from there. Let's hope we stick to the line is what I'm hoping. But I'm definitely hearing rumor that we could be going after a wide receiver, and I would rather go for the offensive line in the first round. Thank you for joining me. So let's hope we can get our steel curtain back, get us to that level like the old days in the 70s when I was a kid and we had such a great team. Let's hope we can get back to that. That's our hope and goal for it. So I know Con's been definitely busy, no doubt about it, but it's kind of scary busy. So let's see what happens, and let's be patient and keep ourselves grounded. And we will be back to you as the draft goes on. God bless.